Hey guys, hope you're well. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Just out on site at the moment using my phone. You can probably tell because it's probably a bit shaky. I don't know what's the point in buying these nice, great cameras when they keep breaking. It's the third time I've taken it to get fixed so far. The Canon that I brought. Anyway, so I'm using the phone, so I apologize for the quality of this video. But I thought I'd just show you the job we're on at the moment. Beautiful 28-degree day today. Nice. Lovely, out in the bush, out at the Aireys Inlet at the moment, out in the middle of nowhere. It's great, I love it out working out these ways. A bit windy, but that's all part of it. Shaun is just locating some Telstra cables at the moment. You'll see him over there. Let's go over and have a look what he's up to. So I'll show you. He's already found some Telstra cables. See the white paint is Telstra. Coming over just in there. You see there's the marker post right there. Australia Post Office. So this is a very old cable, PMG. Back in the day before Telstra, before Telecom, it was PMG. So PMG is who used to look after the telephone cables back then. Postmaster General, or they now turned it to Australian Post Office. Anyway, so that is the cable we're up to, and that is Shaun just marking at the moment where it is. This is the white paint he's putting down. He's using an RD8000 locator, cable locator. So let me show you the job, what we're up to here. So the client is replacing that fence. They're putting a gate in there, and they're replacing the fence along here. We know for a fact that the Telstra cable runs through there, but we don't know where it is. So we're just going to double check if it's this side of the fence, if it's the other side of the fence. The plan says it's this side of the fence. I've been out here before, I reckon it's this side of the fence, but we're just going to double check that. So let's see where it is, where it goes to. So far it's looking this side of the fence. They're going to put the new fence in at the same spot where the old one is, relatively same spot. So as long as it stays where it is right now, they're going to be all good, all clear. So come for a walk, I'll show you the other side where he's actually hooked into the pit, and show you the cable that we're trying to locate at the moment. So right there is a cable he's hooked onto right now. Looks like two 10 pairs. And you'll see that's the cable there. So yeah, so that's the pit we're hooked into. Let me show you a little a ninja tip for those of you that are locators or that work in the industry. Okay, so let me show you this. So the road, the Telstra pit right there. There's a marker to tell us that's where the pit is. Have a look, see the yellow concrete sign? That's telling us that there's Telstra there. Come around, have a look at this. See the sign, see where it's facing? So because it's facing this side, because it's facing this side of us and the sign's not on that side, that's telling me that the cable is over in here. So if we read it, let's read it. PMG cable in front of this plate. So it's in front of this plate, approximately 6 foot to cable. So let's go measure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So reading that sign there, it's telling me, so as long as no one's moved that sign, it's telling me that the cable runs over through here. It's in this part here. That's where it should be, not on the other side. Now, of course, that's only a guide. I don't want you guys going and digging away in hidden cables and saying, Ben told us the sign faces the way it is, because someone might move the sign, someone might change stuff around, plans might be wrong, someone might have put that in the wrong spot. But it's just a little bit of a ninja tip for you, majority of the time, 90% of the times. So the cable is on this side, not on that side. If that plate there was on that side, then you'd say the cable was on this side. A little ninja tip for you, those of you guys that are new to the locating industry. or even those of you that work in the construction industry that want to get if you're digging down trying to find a way handy and you haven't had a locator out, just to give you a guide of where it should be. Always get a locator, always get dial footing plans, put my disclaimer in there. Always get dial footing plans, and then always get an accredited cable locator to come out and show you where the cables are. That's what we're doing today. But anyway, little tip for you guys. Let me show you the rest of the job. Ooh, I think he's nearly finished. Let's go have a look how he's going. So, got Telstra cable, runs along here, over there, runs up through there, comes around that way, does a bit of a dog leg. How's that? Look at that. Up and then over like that. And let's see where she goes. Hopefully it stays this side of it. Here we are. 0.5 deep, 500 mil deep, roughly. 500 mil deep. I say this would be ploughed in. So depth should all be roughly the same. Or be direct buried, there's no pipe. This is just the bare cable, so just a cable like that, about that size, or you saw the cable before, just thrown straight in the ground. Here we go, 400 deep. Why is this one a bit shallower? Because look at the soil. If you have a look, it's probably a bit hard to tell on the camera, but you have a look through here, you can see that the water has washed this bit away, so that's why it's shallower. So although they say the cable should be a certain depth, it might have gone in at 500 deep, but since then the soil has washed the ground away, and that's why it's now 400. Let's go through. Oh, getting shallower, 300 mil deep. Another sign, another cable, or same cable. Where's he gone? I think he's finished it already. So we're still following it through, Jeez, look at that, 200 mil deep. And is that, yep. So tree root right there. I wonder, has the tree root lifted the cable up? Is that why it's 200 deep? Possibly, I don't know. Anyway, it's still, I mean, that's where the new fence is going. So new fence is going there. So there's still, what's that? Let's work it out. Just over a metre away from the cable. So they're well and truly good. They can dig away with the machinery. That's good. That's fine there. But let's hope in the future, if they ever decide to do any work here, then they'll be in trouble. Here he comes. Say hi to YouTube, Shaun. Let's see, what did he put down? Wow, it's gone up to 600. 200, yeah, 200, now right up to 600. Again, so the cable's direct buried. No pipe, it's just thrown straight in the ground. So that would be the reason why the depth is all over the place. There could be rocks, could be tree roots, could be all sorts of stuff. Out here, you wouldn't think there'd be that many rocks out here, but you never know. Anyway, that's why depth. We try to give as much depth guide as we can, because if we said the whole lot was 400, then yeah, as you see right there, it's a big difference. Sorry, well there 600, back there was 400. Anyway, let's keep going watching. 800 deep. Alright guys, so Telstra is now all done, and power is just done. Oh, let me show you the power. Shaun's just finished locating it now. Let me show you. Turn the camera around. Okay, so power goes from the unit there, under there. Now orange is power. Orange is the same colour of the conduit generally, so we use orange for power. Runs along there. There. Keep following it. And runs into that pit there. There's actually two separate power feeds there. So that power there for that pit there runs back this way over to there and then over to the pole. There's also a second one coming down a pole, coming down and feeding that junction box there, or the pillar I should say, power pillar. And then from there it goes up to a house that's up that way there. So two separate power feeds just in there. Actually, funny enough, I was just saying that power, we use orange paint because that's the same colour as the conduits. Well, this is a good example of where it's not always the case. Those power conduits coming down, so that's the power pole there. those conduits coming down are white. But generally they're orange, so that's why the Australian standards use orange for power. If we used white, or if we used whatever the colour the conduit was, every time we swapped over, there'd be no consistency. That is why we use orange for power. Let me show you, there's another power here. Let me show you this one. All right, so see the third one there? So that one has been disconnected. You can see it coming up. So that one there comes down and then goes over to that pit in there. So there's another power pit just there. There used to be another house here back before these guys built this, and that's what used to feed them. So that's disconnected now. So yeah, that is it. We're now just, Shaun's writing up the job sheet now. So we're now just going to head back, get the client to sign it and head off. I'm just taking some photos of what we've found. So we're all done. You'll love, we've been out here for 2 hours now. There's a bit to do. Anyway, now that we're finished, they said to us, just be careful, there's a 2-metre tiger snake in the area that's 80 mil thick. 80 mil thick 2-metre tiger snake. Yeah, okay, it would stand out if we saw it, but after we've been lifting up pits, looking underneath houses, getting down on our hands and knees, trying to dig holes, all sorts of stuff, good to find out now there's a tiger snake in the area. Anyway, it's all good. Not that I'm scared of tiger snakes, but hey, I still don't like to see them. Alright guys, let me show you a pit that was buried that we exposed. Okay, so just in here, that is a Telstra pit there. That was buried under a heap of rubbish. Look at all that, imagine all that, and then on top of all this, we didn't know where it was. We've got one cable up there coming down to there, another cable from there coming down to there. So we knew there should have been a pit around here somewhere. The Telstra plan said there was a pit around here somewhere, but I needed to have a look in that so we could see, to make sure that there's 2 cables coming out of it, because there's 2 cables right in there. That's what I wanted to confirm it. So we needed to dig down and find it, and that was a bitch to locate. But hey, all in a day's work. And that is it guys, all done out here. Yeah, probably a bit longer than I expected it to be. Hang on a sec. Oh, it's a bit warm in the car. Yeah, probably took us a bit longer than we expected. That's because we had to expose that Telstra pit, just to make sure exactly where it was. But we're all done. Shaun's jumping in now. So we're gonna hit the highway, head back home. Yeah, hope you've all had a great day, and we'll catch you on the next job.